Matthew 10:36. A man's enemies will be the members of his own household. I want y'all to think about that for a minute. It states, a man's enemies will be the members of his own household. Thank y'all for tuning in. You're now tuned into my podcast. I'm SF Johnnie, Seriously Focused Johnnie. You are tuned into Difficult People Chronicles. Today's episode is a case. Enemy of her own home. Before I get into this case, I want y'all to think about something. How many of us grew up wanting to be in a loving family? Caring, supportive, everybody got each other's backs. Whether your family is big or small. But then you got older and realized that your enemy was right in front of you. Probably that sibling that you used to go to the park with or share a room with. The same cousin that you would take your shirt off for would stab you in the back, talk about you like a dog, try to stop your blessings. The same mother or father that you would pray for and care about and worry about would sit there and talk bad about you or say things. And it be those same people in your household that envy you. And you didn't do nothing wrong to them. Nothing. All you did was do you. Meaning, be authentic, tell the truth, be your truest self. And because of that, they don't like you. Maybe your hair texture is different. Maybe your complexion is smooth. Maybe you have a way of socializing with people that you draw people to you. And because they are not like you, they envy you. They spend more time looking at you, figuring out what you're doing, talking to other people, trying to ask questions, than working on themselves. And the more you elevate, the more you grow in spirituality or who you are, the more envious they get. When they think that you not doing nothing, they're happy. But as soon as they find out that you doing something, or they feel like you doing something, their insecurities become a all natural high where the envy becomes deadly. Because they don't wish anything good for you. They don't care nothing about you. If they can destroy you, it will make them happy. And a lot of times, they try to get in your face and stay close just so they can destroy you. But what happens when the enemy within your household is someone that is your spouse? That is this case that I'm going to go into. I stumbled on this case because I was looking for something on the internet. And I just saw a picture. I didn't even read the whole entire article. And when I looked at this man in this picture, I said, he looked like he's happy about what he did. I mean, you could clearly see that, from the mugshot that he's the criminal. But when you look at his picture, the first thing I said was, he looked like he's proud of what he did. And then I read the article. So, let me get into this article real quick for you all. This article is on people.com. I'm going to leave the link below, like always. It says husband charged with murder of Florida Vice Mayor shot and killed 3 months after her brother's death. The husband of Vice Mayor of Coral Springs, Florida, Nancy Matea Bowen, has been arrested in connection with her fatal shooting. At around 10 a.m. local time on Wednesday, April 1st, the Coral Springs Police Department found Matea Bowen, 38, dead while conducting a well-being check at her home in the 800 block Northwest 127th Avenue, according to a City of Coral Springs news release. Coral Springs Police Chief Brad Mock said in a press conference that the fatal shooting is being investigated as a domestic violence incident. Her husband, Stephen Bowen, is in our custody, said Mock. There are no additional suspects at this time, and there are no immediate threats to anyone in the public. Matea Bowen's husband, Stephen Bowen, is being held at Broward County Main Jail without bond, having been charged with premeditated murder and tampering with or fabricating physical evidence, according to online records. Concerns about Matea Bowen's well-being arose on Wednesday morning when she failed to attend a meeting. And it says, around an hour after the meeting began, a staffer contacted Bowen and asked if he could speak to the vice mayor. He texted her. Bowen allegedly replied she is not picking up. Police were asked to visit the couple's home in search of Matea Bowen after attempts to reach her by phone were unsuccessful. There were no cars in the driveway when deputies arrived, and they got no response from anyone inside the property. Police launched a missing persons investigation after noticing damage to the home. Officers then found Matea Bowen dead, wrapped in blankets and garbage bags, in the second floor bedroom, the outlets reported, citing an affidavit. A pillow with a bum marks and a string fashioned as a makeshift silencer were found on the bed. The report states that Bowen has spoken to his mother. This is the husband. Report states that Bowen has spoken to his mother at around 4 p.m. on Tuesday. He allegedly told her that he had a panic attack at work and planned to speak to Matea Bowen about it. She did not know of any marital issues between the couple. In a police interview, Bowen's uncle alleged that the vice mayor's husband confessed to him that he shot Matea Bowen 3 times the night before she was found and then slept downstairs. When asked why, Stephen Bowen said that he couldn't take it anymore. Bowen was taken into custody after his pickup was spotted at an apartment complex at Northwest 42nd Avenue in Plantation, per Local 10. He was allegedly seen handing a shotgun bag to another man. Investigators claim the man told them Bowen requested to meet him to discuss an upcoming meeting for Freemasons and that he was unaware of any criminality. Then it says Matea Bowen's death comes just 3 months after the death of her younger brother, Donovan Joshua Lee Matea, who was a survivor of the deadly school shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Matea Bowen became the first Black and Haitian American female commissioner of Coral Springs in 2020, according to the city's website. She was re-elected in 2024 and appointed to serve a second one-year term as vice mayor in November 2025. Matea Bowen also served as a vice chair of a Florida Democratic Party. Aside from politics, she was an environmental scientist and a former member of the Broward County Soil and Water Conservation District. She was more than just a public servant, she was a light in our community. A statement by Coral Springs government reads: her leadership was grounded in compassion, strength, and an unwavering commitment to others. Her impact on Coral Springs is immeasurable, and her loss leaves a void in our hearts. The link is going to be below. Now, let me tell you what came to me. What came to me was this: it was two things. Number one, before I even read the article, like I said, I looked at his picture first and then I saw her picture and I said, it's like he is happy that he did what he did. Then when I read the article for a second time and it said that he shot her and then he went downstairs and slept, that's cold-blooded murder. That's envy. A lot of times when people marry the wrong person and that wrong person is marrying because a benefit of some sort, like they want to look good or they want to make it seem like they have a lot when they don't. They want the title of boss when they don't even know what it means to be a leader. And they put up this facade in front of people in the community. And I'm talking about her husband. And then people start to realize that the person doing all the work is the other party. Because that other party is driven or compassion for what they do, working on their assignment. The other party is going to start to get envious because they were never working on themselves to begin with. They were busy watching what the other person was doing. And they start to see that they don't have a place instead of creating a place. Meaning, like, you could have two people that should be working together for a common goal. If a person has why they're doing something, the other party should come up with how it should be done. If they both know how and why they're doing something, then they should work together on bringing whatever to light. But a lot of times you have some people that you'll have a person that has the brains or have the idea to say, this is what I want to do, or this is what I like to do. And then the other party just, they don't care. They don't care what you want to do. They don't care how you want to do it. They just want to look important. And that's what I mean when I say they have no place. Because they're not doing anything. Those are the ones that stand behind and just spend the money. They don't even do anything at home. They don't take the kids to school. They don't help you with your projects. They don't give insight or input to problem solving. They just doing nothing, spending money. And then when the light starts to shift, where people see that that person is not doing anything but creating more problems, that same culprit starts to, the envy starts, whew, Jesus, my spirit. The envy starts to be noticeable more and more and more. So this is a plug. What just came to me was the words, so you really moving along. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it was a situation where Maybe she was leaving him, or she was moving along with whatever project she was doing, and he didn't want her to. One thing I can say is that jealousy will try to stop a person from doing great things. So, in this article, like I said, he went to sleep after he killed her. They said there was garbage bags and all this other stuff. Yeah, he was wicked. Then, if further down in the article, it talks about he wanted to talk about a Freemason meeting with another dude that he was handing off a gun to. Yeah, it says he was allegedly seen handing a shotgun bag to another man. Investigators claim the man told them Bowen requested to meet him to discuss an upcoming meeting for Freemasons, and that he was unaware of any criminality. Mm, that's a red flag right there. Freemasons. You look at his picture, and I want y'all to look at the picture. He looked possessed. It's sad. Another thing I want to say is that stop giving people passes when they say things that's like underhanded. I feel like he might have said some things or a few things that was underhanded to her, and she couldn't shake it, like what he said, and that was a red flag. There's things people will say, like, say for instance, you trying to open up your own business, or you doing some things, and then they tell you like a story about somebody else and how they wasn't too bright with their business dealings. And as you sit back, you realize that that person, whatever they're saying, makes no sense. Because how does it pertain to you? hmm Basically, what they're saying is that you don't have no common sense. Like, you gotta, oh, my spirit, you gotta read between the lines. When people show you who they are, believe it. hmm You gotta start walking backwards or walk away from these people. But it's sad when a person is in your household and their enemy. If, and this is for people that are married, if you are in a domestic violence situation, there's the domestic violence hotline. I'm going to provide that down below. And you, let's say you know that the marriage is not working, or you trying to leave, whatever have you, and there's some sort of abuse, whether physical, verbal, the person's a narcissist or a gaslighter, call a number. I feel like the worst thing a person can do is to argue with an abuser. Arguing with an abuser. Right in your face. Where there's no distance. And the last thing I want to say is that I was trying all day to figure out how I want to say this. When it comes to spiritual warfare, and the enemy cannot attack you because you praying around the clock, God got you. The enemy is going to try to attack those around you, especially if they're not praying or they have some kind of issue going on. When you find that you're going through something, God forbid, and let's say somebody around you that's in your family is going through it. Sometimes they're going through it because of you, because the enemy will try to attack those around you if they can't get to you. Remember that. And when I heard about this woman's brother, wow, his name just came up, and he died 3 months prior to the shooting, I said to myself, I'm not saying that he didn't suffer with an issue because of the deadly shooting at the high school, because that could take a toll on a person mentally. But what happens is the enemy will play on that. For example, if a person, God forbid, is depressed, or no, sad, let's say it starts off with sadness because of whatever, and the enemy's trying to take you down, the enemy will try to play on that. And before long, sadness turns into depression, and depression turns into the person not wanting to be here anymore and taking their life. And when you find that things like that happens in the beginning where it's sadness, you got to start praying all sorts of prayers, because the enemy will attack people around a person if they can't get to that person. And then when they realize that that person is still moving forward in life, then they go after the person that they want to go after, because they're like, this person is still moving. And I feel like her brother's death, he was a target, because it was supposed to stop her from having motivation to do things. Not everything in a person's life is a sacrifice, meaning that, a lot of people in the world will look at this case and say, oh, her brother died because he was a sacrifice for her success. That's not always the truth. Sometimes the enemy will attack a family member because they can't get the other party. And then when they realize that that person is still pushing on, still elevating, still doing, and moving on to bigger and bigger things, whatever God has for them, then the enemy get angry, and then the enemy try to take the person out. And I feel like that was part of this situation, because her brother, I feel it's unfortunate, it's sad, that whole situation was on my heart. The both of them, like, her mother lost 2 kids, her and her brother. I can't even imagine the pain. I feel like, and this is just me, I feel like it was supposed to be a situation where, God forbid, her brother passed away, and she was supposed to be down and out, depressed, and stop moving forward with whatever is successful. It was supposed to break her. That's what it was. It was supposed to break her, and it didn't. And then the enemy got upset. If you see his face on here, that's crazy. And then he had the nerve to tell his mother that he had a panic attack at his job. What that got to do with? Why? Because you wanted to be on top of the world, higher than your wife. Probably. And all you had to do was just join her in her success. That's crazy. It's sad. It's really sad. And like I said, sometimes it be that one word or that one sentence where you could see who that person really is that's standing in front of you. Anyway, stay prayed up. Pray about those in your household. And even if you see somebody that's envious of you and they in your household, you bind that foul spirit every day. Every day. until you could do something different, meaning leave, or God changes them. Because this man looks like he got the demon in him. God knows. So that's it for today. Check me out on YouTube, like, subscribe, click the notification for suggested topics, email me. Love me more and I love you more. Later.